Hi, welcome back. I'm Dave Furman, Senior Pro Pickleball Player and Coach. Welcome back to Pickleball Daily. Today we will be discussing the common mistakes players make at the kitchen line. So, too often I find players when they're playing, they're very focused on the shots, they're very focused on dinks, and they're doing a very good job hitting that ball. But once they hit that ball, they end up kind of staying like this, down with their paddle down, waiting for the next dink. However, we never know if our opponent is actually going to dink the ball. What happens if we hit a ball where we feel it's a good shot that we hit and their opponent is only going to dink another ball, but our opponent now actually speeds the ball up? So if we have our paddle here, when the opponent speeds the ball up, now we're late, we have to bring our paddle all the way up, we have to defy gravity and come up here to hit that ball. And as our paddle is making its way up, if we don't hit that ball perfectly, we're gonna spray the ball anywhere on the court where we don't know where it's going. So it's very important, no matter how good of a shot you hit and you don't believe that your opponent can still attack that ball, we have to think that every ball we hit, our opponent may be attacking it. And so if we go in with that mindset, we know that after every time we hit a ball, we're bringing our paddle up. Again, as a righty, we're gonna be at the 11:30 position, a lefty about the 12:30 position. This allows us always to protect that any ball that our opponent hits, we have an ability to hit the ball at a point of contact above the height of the net. Now, think of it this way. There's two kinds of shots in pickleball. Either it's attackable or it's unattackable. So if we have the mindset that every shot that our opponent is hitting may be that they're going to attack it, if we are already ready up here, and if we hit a good unattackable ball, in other words, we hit a very good low ball that bounces either short in the kitchen or doesn't bounce very high, that is a very difficult ball for an opponent to attack because the opponent has to lift that ball up. So if we hit what we consider ourselves an unattackable ball, and now we assume that our opponent may still attack that ball, the only thing our opponent can do is they have to lift that ball up. And therefore now, when we hit an unattackable ball and we're ready with our paddle up, we're able to counter that ball because they have to lift the ball up. We're gonna be at a point of contact above the net. If I hit an unattackable ball and I stand with my paddle down, I'm gonna let my opponent have a very good opportunity to now beat me with a shot that they shouldn't have beaten me with. They didn't actually necessarily hit a good shot. It's I actually was not ready and prepared for the shot. So that fault comes on me. Secondly, if we just have our paddle down here, we have a whole part of our body that's very vulnerable and easy to attack. If we have our paddle down and we get attacked here, we're gonna end up with this chicken wing effect where we come up to hit the ball with a very poor defensive position. So always, after every shot that you hit, I want you to have your paddle up here, whether you're a righty, in the left 11:30 or a 12:30 position. Paddle above the height of the net, always ready to be able to attack any ball that's coming at you and making contact above the net when possible. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen when I'm gonna dink a ball to Bray's gonna hit me a ball, but if you'll notice, he's gonna end up with staying with his paddle down, and you're gonna see how exposed he becomes when that situation occurs. So if I feed him a ball and you see what happens if he has his paddle down, he can't protect himself as much, right? So now the same thing, if you watch, I'm gonna feed a ball to Brett. Once I feed the ball, I'm gonna come up with my paddle up here. As soon as I dink the ball, my paddle is up. And then if you notice what happened, as soon as my paddle is up, because Brett hit a ball high, I was able to be aggressive and attack that ball. If I had my paddle down here and Brett hit a high ball, I would have to now extend all the way here to get that ball. And by the time I get here, I probably am not gonna maximize my shot and my placement of that ball. So again, same idea. If I hit the ball, if I stay with my paddle down, I lose an opportunity. If I stay with the paddle up, my opportunity in order to attack exists because my paddle is already above the height of the net. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. If you want more content, please subscribe to Pickleball Daily.